What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Michael Morales says UFC has approached him about fighting at the White House. Rising UFC welterweight contender Michael Morales claims he could be on his way to getting a shot on the upcoming White House card. On the biggest stage of his career, Morales knocked out Sean Brady in the opening round at UFC 322 to assert himself as a top title contender. According to Morales, the UFC is already in talks with him to potentially fight on the upcoming card at the White House, scheduled for June 14th. My opponent could be Jack Della Maddalena. Maybe it will be him. We're waiting for that. They just told me that a fight could happen, possibly on June 14th or around June. So it's just about preparing for the fight and always being ready. God willing, we'll win the title. The key is to train and be in good shape for the next one. Jack Della Maddalena lost to Makhachev by unanimous decision in his first and lone welterweight title defense. Before falling to Makhachev, Maddalena won the belt by defeating Belal Muhammad at UFC 315. Andrew Tate lists Alex Pereira and two others as his combat sports GOATs. It appears Andrew Tate holds UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira in high regard and considers him one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time. In a recent promotional segment for Misfits, King Cobra shared his top 3 lists, from his favorite foods to his favorite fighters. When the topic came to combat sports GOATs, the former kickboxer took little time to name Alex Pereira and two others. John Jones, of course. Pereira is very impressive. He is still fighting people at my age, still knocking people out. It's good to see, but Floyd Mayweather never lost, so I like Mayweather as well. Pereira is one of just 11 fighters to have won championships in 2 weight classes in the UFC. He was last seen at UFC 320, where he knocked out Magomed Ankalaev in the first round to reclaim the light heavyweight title. Islam Makhachev gets honest about experiencing self-doubt before Jack Della Maddalena fight. Islam Makhachev recently opened up about fighting self-doubt before facing Jack Della Maddalena last month. Islam moved up to welterweight after beating Renato Moicano via first-round submission at UFC 311 in January and was booked for a title fight against Della Maddalena in the main event of UFC 322 in New York last month. I can say that I was a bit uptight before Della Maddalena fight because I wasn't sure about my conditioning for 5 rounds, my power and strength, and what my opponent would feel like. That's why I felt some tension, but now I know I can fight for 5 rounds with anybody. I will take a few more risks and fight a slightly different fight. Paddy Pimblett believes Ilia Topuria might have to vacate his belt. Paddy Pimblett believes he could become the undisputed lightweight champion next year, given Ilia Topuria's personal troubles, which are set to sideline him at least until the second quarter of 2026. Pimblett is set to take on Justin Gaethje at UFC 324 in January for the interim lightweight championship. In a recent interview with ESPN Deportes, Pimblett claimed that Topuria might have to vacate his belt if the champion's MMA hiatus extends beyond half a year. He's got a lot going on in his personal life. I wish him nothing but the best. That has got nothing to do with me and him fighting. That's his family, and I hope everything goes well. I hope that goes perfectly for him. All I care about is getting him in that octagon and fighting him. But you never know. If he doesn't come back by June or July, then he might have to vacate his belt, and I'll become undisputed champion without even fighting.